Okay, so what if you had a roadmap for your entire life? I'm not just talking about a career plan, I mean a real plan for the next 80 years, designed to build a life that's both meaningful and financially secure. Well, today that's exactly what we're going to break down.
So let's just ask the big question right up front. How would you actually do it? How do you plan out a whole life? The goal here isn't just about retiring with a bunch of money. It's about living a rich life at every single stage, and we're going to walk through a really powerful way to think about that.
And this is the core idea behind everything we're about to discuss. It's a huge mindset shift. See, money isn't the finish line. It's the fuel. It's the tool you use to build the life you really, truly want to live.
All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to journey through 4 different seasons of life, starting with the foundation years all the way to your legacy years. And then we'll wrap it all up with 3 core principles that kind of tie the whole thing together.
First up, the foundation years, from birth to age 20. The best way to think about this entire phase, it's one big investment in the most important asset you will ever have, which is you.
So in these really early years, you're basically running on 2 tracks at once. On one side, it's all about meaning. Building trust, learning through play, finding hobbies. On the other side, it's about money, but in a simple way. Learning about the save, spend, give jars. This is about building the basic habits that will set you up for your entire financial future.
Okay, now we hit ages 16 to 20. We can call this the launcher phase. Here, the focus gets real. Get a job, learn what work ethic actually means. But on the financial side, the rules are simple and they are not negotiable. Avoid debt like the plague and start investing. Seriously, even a tiny amount in a retirement account right now is unbelievably powerful, all thanks to one magical concept.
And that concept is compound interest. You've probably heard of it, but it really is magic. It's your money making money, which then makes more money. This is why starting early is so critical. It's not about how much you start with. It's all about giving your money as much time as possible to grow.
And that brings us right into our second season, the building years. If the last phase was about laying the foundation, this is where you step on the gas and accelerate your career, your relationships, and your net worth.
So in your 20s, the mantra is learn over earn. Your first jobs are about building skills and your network, not just the paycheck. And financially, the number one most important habit is to pay yourself first. That means you automate your savings. A chunk of every paycheck goes straight to your investments before you even see it. It's the best way to fight what they call lifestyle inflation.
And this gives you your first major milestone to aim for. By the time you're hitting your 30s, a great target is to have a net worth that's equal to 1 year of your salary. It's a real, tangible number that tells you, hey, this is working.
Right. So in your 30s, life gets, well, a lot more complicated. You're juggling career, maybe family. You're shifting from being a doer to a leader. And this is when you have to start protecting everything you're building. That means getting life insurance, creating a will, and here's a key idea. Instead of buying more stuff, you start using your money to buy back your time, and time is so much more valuable.
Now we get to the really good part. Welcome to the compounding years. This is the season where all that hard work from your 20s and 30s really starts to pay off. It starts creating real options, giving you the freedom to choose your work, your schedule, and your priorities. Your 40s, believe it or not, can be a huge turning point. You've got the financial stability now to ask the really big questions like, am I actually fulfilled by what I'm doing? This is the decade for a potential pivot into work that feels more meaningful. And your focus starts to shift from me to we, using your expertise to help mentor the next generation.
And this freedom that you've earned has a pretty famous name. It's called fuck you money. Now, it's not about being aggressive or rude. It's about having agency. It's having enough savings to be able to walk away from a terrible boss or a job that's crushing your soul because you can. It's the ultimate form of professional freedom.
So, check out how much that goal has grown. By your 50s, the new target is a net worth of 6 times your annual salary. That jump from 1x to 6x shows you the incredible power of all those years of compounding.
In your 50s, you're not winding down. You're becoming a strategist. The goal isn't to just stop working cold turkey. The key word here is redeploy. You're planning your third act. And while you're doing that, on the money side, you start to protect what you built by shifting your investments to be a bit more conservative. And that leads us to the final season, the legacy years. And this isn't an ending, not at all. It's the ultimate phase of freedom and contribution, and it was all paid for by decades of smart, intentional planning.
So what's the magic number you're shooting for? Well, a really good rule of thumb is to save 25 times your desired annual spending. So if you want to live on, say, $40,000 a year in retirement, you need $1 million saved up. That 25x is the key that unlocks the door.
So how does that 25x number actually work? It's based on something called the 4% rule. The idea is that you can safely take out 4% of your total investments in your first year of retirement and then adjust that amount for inflation every year after. It's the engine that makes your money last for the rest of your life.
In this final season, your focus shifts completely. You redeploy your time and energy into what really matters: your health, your family, your community, sharing your wisdom. Your finances? They should be on autopilot, just working in the background for you, letting you live a life of pure contribution and reflection.
So after that whole journey through a lifetime, let's just zoom out for a second. What are the big ideas that hold this whole thing together? It really comes down to 3 main principles.
First, it's the sufficient mindset. Real financial peace comes from wanting less, not just earning more. Second, think of meaning like an investment portfolio. Don't put all your fulfillment eggs in the basket of your job. Diversify it. And third, and this is so important, remember that the seasons are linked. The discipline you have in your 20s buys you the freedom you'll have in your 40s. Each stage builds on the one before it. And that brings us to the final and honestly the most important question. Which season are you in right now? And based on everything we've talked about, what's the one next step? It can be big, it can be small, that you can take starting today to build a life that is both meaningful and financially free.